Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Amwan Rakah. Back with another lesson, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakah the honors to the apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. And I'm gonna say it like the elder Malcolm says, man, those risking their lives, to do this work, man. Because I want to briefly just do a brief lesson on. You saw the video. I don't know the brother's name, but he was out there teaching, and someone pulled the heat on him, man. Someone pulled how do we say it over here? Well, I don't want to get into all of that, but someone pulled a drum, on him, man. And he tried to do as we tried to do. We tried to maintain, But it came to a point where he had to battle, man. He had to fight his way out of that situation, man. And that really was the Lord doing it anyway, man. Because the man could have did whatever he needed to do if it wasn't for the Most High, man. All right. But the point of the matter of this lesson I want to get into is that, listen, this is a part and parcel of this truth. This is how serious it is. That was a demon. There was a demon on that guy, man. And that was a test for that brother, man, and he passed it, man, because he didn't falter. You could hear in his verse there was a slight tone of maybe, a little bit of fear. That's natural, man. A man pulls a gun on you, man. And it's only natural, but he held it, man, and then he flipped it on him. He took him out, right? See, so he, certain people saying that he should have done this, that, and the other, man. It went in the way it was supposed to go, man. The Most High made it go that way. Alright, but that was a test for that brother, man. And now he's passed that test. It's only going to strengthen his faith, man. Alright, but the point of this lesson is just to say that this is a serious thing, and we are putting ourselves. That's why Elder Malcolm says that, man. Risking our lives to do this work, man. This ain't a joke. Right, we've been in situations before. Nothing as heated as that, because we're over here. It's not as easy for a man to get one of them to get a mash and and bring it and put it on brothers, man. It's not that easy over here. These ninjas out here like to bring out them shiny things, man. Them pointy shiny things on you. That's what they like to do over here, up close and personal. Fortunately, we haven't had anything. We do know someone that's happened to, but that's another story. But look, man, this is a serious thing, and every time you're out there on the highways and the byways, man, that's the risk you take. That's why we have men holding post, and we're gonna have that even more so now, because sometimes you get a bit too cozy, a bit too comfortable, man. All right, but this is this is all part of the truth, man. Risking your body. It's a sacrifice you make. So let's just get the scriptures. And like I said, I'm not going to make it too long. Romans 12:1 says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto the Most High Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. Right? And it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. So that the renewing of your mind also lets you understand that, listen, man, now we're in the hands of the Most High now, and if you're out on the streets, you're at risk. So you have to believe, faith, man. Faith is a gift. It's not something that you just can attain, that it has to be given to you. And that's what that brother clearly had, man. Let's let me get it here. We're all over the place. There it is. It says Hebrews 11:1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Because we haven't seen the Most High, we haven't seen Yahweh Shai. There's men, that have seen them in the past lives. We've seen him, but in this life we haven't seen him, but we believe. And we believe, man, the scriptures talk about the angels encompassing around us when we're out there. That's why before we leave the house, we must pray, man. Alright, we must pray, because there's no telling what's going to happen, man. You know? In Revelation 20, and this is just a point, right? And 4, it says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, and for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with the Mashiach 1,000 years. So you're only going to be in that boat if you've been a believer, and if you've been a man of the Lord, and you've been doing the work, right? So, you know, taking it further, you know, there are men in this land, I've said it before, that are going to, it says it, man. There are men in this, who are going to be beheaded for this truth. Or one way or another, they're going to be unalive for this truth. Alright, so you have to be prepared. That might be your time on the street. You never know. Right? And, you can go out in this truth naturally. You can go out by violence, man. There's no telling. I mean, I want to read some of this. And like I said, I don't want to make it too long. I've got to make a move. But let's just read this, man, because this is the spirit that you have to be in. That's why I always come back to 2 Maccabees, the 7th chapter, man. You know, this is in the time when, they were defiling the temple, man, right? And, they come in and they was forcing Israelites to do all manner of madness, man, especially eating the swine's flesh and all the abominations and sewing back on circumcised skin on their penis, on their rods, man, So this is starting from the top. It says, and it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against our law, to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. So are you ready to die? Right? Are you ready to die? That's the question, man. Are you ready to die, man? It can come. You got to take it seriously, man. It says, then, and I'll read a bit more. It says, then the king being in a rage commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. So that was not just his torment, but they were tormented watching that, and that was to instill the fear. That's what this devil's going to do, man. He's going to have them guillotines set up. And I'm just going on to another point of it, but this is all about being prepared for death. Right? He's going to have them guillotines set up, man, to put fear into people. He's going to say, look, this man is chosen to disobey this system and not to worship the beast, and this is what's going to happen to him. Now, if the spirit's dealing with you, you ain't got to worry about that, man. Because the Lord is what he's going to, he's going to have you in that time, man. And you got to think of it like this. I will say this: if you got your head down on that block, right, and they're threatening your existence, your so-called life that you have here, over what Yahushua has promised, you've made it, man. You've made it. We cannot afford to fear death, right? I'm trying to think of a scripture. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. Yeah, this is what I want. and I want to get another one after this actually, and I want to close out because I'm kind of running out of time here. But Matthew 10 and 28, and it says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. So the Most High is one that can obliterate you completely. Esau can only take your body. He can't take your soul, man. He can't take it. Where is it now? Do you know what? Let me search it. How's it go again? Oh yeah. I know it's in Thessalonians somewhere. I think, anyway. Or Timothy. Yeah, Timothy. It says, for the Most High have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So we don't have the spirit of fear, but we feel, the Lord has given, we have power instilled in us, man. Right? And a sound mind. Remember those things. These are the things that to meditate on, to maintain. Right? Because it's not for the faint of heart. People think it's a joke. They see us on the street in the garments and stuff. They think it's light work, and it's not. Like, especially when you're in places like the spirit has kind of changed. But we've been in places where it's heavy foot. It's a heavy footfall, man. People coming from all directions. You don't know who's coming at you. People are shouting at you in the street, throwing stuff at you and stuff like that. So that's light work compared to what that brother had to deal with, man. But you should watch that and take as a lesson from that, man. Can't remember how that one goes. Oh wait. No, I can't find it. Anyway, man, I can't find it. The spirit was on me to find out to find it. But yeah, I've got to cut this one short. But yeah, the one is edifying, man. And I give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahshai, Hashem Akakudash. And shalom on to the next one.